What's up, guys? Today we'll be taking a journey back in time, all the way back to 2010, and looking at the iPod Touch 4th generation. So, the iPod Touch 4th generation was released on September 1st, 2010 in the black color, and the white color was released on October 12th, 2010. The specs were good for that day, which nowadays they look horrible, but it had the Apple A4 chip and a measly, for nowadays, 256 megabytes of RAM. Compared to today, the newest iPhones have like 4 gigabytes of RAM, and Android phones go like double that, 8 gigabytes or more. So I have my old iPod Touch 4th generation here from, I got this when I was like in 4th grade, right? Yeah, I was in 4th grade when I got this. It was my first Apple device ever, and I love this thing, man. This thing, I used it for like 2 or 3 years before I got this phone right here, iPhone 5C. We'll talk about that phone another day. So, this iPod Touch was shipped with iOS 4.1 at first, but it got access to iOS 5 in the next month after that with the release of the white edition of the iPod Touch, which I'll put a picture in the video to show you guys. So, you can see I had a creeper wallpaper. This was back when I used to play Minecraft a lot. I played Minecraft P with my friends so much on this device. So many memories. So, anyways. So the latest firmware that was released for the iPod Touch 4 was iOS 6.1.6, which is pretty old considering we're on iOS 12 already. That's a long time ago. And it still feels like snappy, whatever you do it. I have a whole ton of games on this too. iOS 6 looks, we need a throwback to iOS 6. We need some features back in regular iOS from iOS 6. Like the dock especially, I love the dock, the reflective dock down here. But back on topic. So the iPod Touch 4th generation came in 4 storage configurations: 8 gigabyte, 16 gigabyte, 32 gigabyte, and 64 gigabyte. This one is the 16 gigabyte one. Now, this iPod was very similar and different from the iPhone 4 that released in the same year as this. So, for one, it's much thinner, right? And lighter than the iPhone 4, but obviously it sacrifices all of the telephone abilities that the iPhone 4 has, and it also cannot connect to cellular like the iPhone 4 could. It only could connect through Wi-Fi. Now, the screen on this guy is only a 3.5-inch screen that's at a resolution of 960 by 640 with 326 pixels per inch. You might be thinking, oh, that's horrible, but 8 years ago that was pretty good. Nowadays it's nothing compared to the OLED screens on the iPhone XS and XS Max, but it's still, it looks decent considering it came out in 2010. And also, the back camera on this guy can record 720p video, which again is pretty good considering this is an iPod from 2010. And according to Apple, this thing got pretty good battery life. It got 40 hours of playback time for audio and 7 hours for video, which is really good for a device this thin. The prices when it released in 2010 was $229 for the 8 gigabyte one, $299 for the 32 gigabyte one, and $399 for the 64 gigabyte one. Now, in 2012, when they released the next iPod, the iPod Touch 5th generation, they added a 16 gigabyte one, which is this model, for $199, and the 32 gigabyte model got a price cut down to $249. In 2013, a year later, they discontinued all iPod Touch 4th generations. 5 years already. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll leave you with some photos and videos from the iPod Touch so you're able to see the quality of the images. Until next time, peace.